So, hey, Sarvesh, welcome to this debriefing session, and congratulations on scoring a 760. First of all, how does it feel? Other than the fact that you didn't get a Q50, but how does it feel?
It feels good, Rajat. Now the GMAT is over, and now I can concentrate on the application part of it. So it
Okay,
feels great in that way. But lot of stuff still left to do.
that's true. There are a lot of stuff still left to do. I mean, it's a step in the process. So you have a Q50 V44, 98th percentile on GMAT Verbal. When you
Oh, we
started
fought
your V42,
the
I'm sorry, yes, 98, 96th percentile. 96 percentile still on GMAT Verbal. So when you started preparing, when you had that 670, was that 96 percentile, was that a goal for you, or did you plan for the score?
So not at all. In fact, my aim was if I can touch V40, it would be like I have done a good job. So I never imagined I could score a V42. Though in quant, I still had the confidence that I could get Q50, Q51, being engineering background and good in maths and scored high in Indian management aptitude tests. So I had those that confidence behind me. But verbal was like totally out of picture, and working in Indian companies doesn't help too much, in terms of polishing or refining your language skills in any way. And GMAT is anyway very different kind of exam. It will test you to the core, especially when you're operating at high levels. You have your concept should be very strong. uh,
Hmm.
so it was a very challenging journey, and somehow I gathered up the courage to give it a start. And one thing I was always sure that I didn't wanted it to be a 1 year or 2 year kind of thing. That
A
clarity,
preparation. You wanted to get it done right away.
yeah. So that clarity was always there. So either I'll do it in 2 3 months or I'll leave it. So I didn't want it because I'm working, and when I'm focusing on GMAT, it takes some focus away from my work also. And there are a lot of priorities and good projects I'm doing, and I wanted to focus on them also. So I decided I'll give myself 3 months, take little light on my work, and focus on my GMAT. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen.
So it was like
So
one go for you. Give it or take it.
yes, yes, yes,
We
exactly.
didn't. I didn't ask you. Did you take the enhanced online test, or was it an in-center test?
So I booked my center test 2 times. Every time it got cancelled. Then finally I booked my online test and got done with it. Though there was a glitch in my AWA section, so my screen froze for a few seconds, and I was kind of deleting a word, and I ended up deleting my entire thing. It got selected and got deleted,
Hmm.
and I had like 6 minutes left on my watch, and then I again started writing and somehow completed with a 4 on
Okay.
AWA.
Okay. That's still commendable. So let's kind of go back to that starting point. 670 score 3 months back, right? So on
Right.
your first mock test. So how did you plan your preparation? What did that 670 tell you? And then what are the next steps that you took?
So I realized that I need lot of work on building my concepts.
In what?
And
Verbal or quant?
in verbal quant, I was again sure that my number system, my basic concepts are in place.
Hmm.
So I had that confidence that basic concepts are in place. Maybe I have to get accustomed to the GMAT pattern, the typical traps that GMAT the candidate like to give to the candidates, and those kind of things. So I was getting used to that pattern and GMAT formats. But my basics were in place, but in verbal my basics were all over the place. So I had no clue from where to start, and how to go ahead with my journey. I was reading random books, for sentence correction. I started reading Manhattan, completed it end to end, but still my accuracy was around 50%, and it was not improving.
Hmm.
So at that point of time, I realized that I need a structured course from basic to the advanced level, which I can follow religiously, because there is so much clutter around. And if I will just go on, without a aim solving questions, or trying questions from different sources, it's not helping me. So I tried doing that for 20 25 days, and I gave a mock again, but my scores were pretty much in the same range. It has not improved.
So then you bought the e-GMAT course. Was that your trigger?
Then I was sure that, I only have 2.5 months around left, and I need a proper course. Without that, I won't be able to do it. So I realized that after practicing on my own. So then I went ahead and bought the e-GMAT course and started watching all the videos. In fact, I watched all the videos twice on a repeat
So
mode.
but let's kind of get to the very basics. So you started with the master comprehension, the sentence collection, the critical.
So
Which courses?
I started with critical reasoning first. So I have a LED I can show you. So I just shared my screen on the LED and played the videos, and I was just lying on my couch and watching all the videos.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen a student do this. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I never got bored. It was designed in a manner which made perfect sense to me. It was every video was logically connected to the previous one. It was not like that in few courses. I saw there was no connection. You learned something and then you learned something else, and the concepts
In
were
few companies, not by e-GMAT, but other companies.
by other companies. The concepts are not getting connected. So this was very smooth. I finished all of my videos, and post that I started solving OG, and then by applying pre-thinking and those kind of approaches, I could see that now I am able to understand where I was going wrong. So
So what were
then
if you were to really look at the critical reasoning part, what were the 2 or 3 takeaways that you had from the course itself?
So one is definitely, you should be very clear of what the premise is. And if you're not understanding the premise, you're not understanding the question, different categories of question, how you, face a bold-faced question and, strong, strengthen, weaken argument questions differently. And pre-thinking is very important when you are, starting a question. And when you are confused between two answer options, in the end you are missing a concept.
So let's kind of go back. So you first of all was to understand the context, to really say, hey, this is what the context is being said, so you understand the argument piece. Now the second thing you said was pre-thinking. What did pre-thinking do for you? And because you also attempted questions before you started with the e-GMAT course, so in the context of how you approach questions before and where you made mistakes, and now you had this tool pre-thinking, so what did it do with regards to the clarity that you had?
Right. So by following pre-thinking in all my questions, I realized what is the logic behind the question, what actually question is conveying, and what answer options are with respect to the question. So earlier that link was not happening, but when I started doing pre-thinking, I realized this is what question is asking, and my answer option should be in this range.
Got it. So you had an
that
idea what the answer should talk about, basically.
Yes. So that clarity started coming, and it slowly became easier for me. And whenever I got stuck between two answer options, so I learned that more often than not I am missing a concept behind it. So then negating all the answer options, going through all answer options in my prep, and those kind of basic things slowly started helping me.
Got it. So you did the CR course, then you went to the OG, you said?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And then you solved the official questions.
Then I solved the official questions. Then I solved the Scholaranium questions.
Hmm.
So I went like that. So I
So
finished.
what did you do in Scholaranium?
So in Scholaranium, I did all the CR questions which was there.
Hmm.
And whatever questions were wrong, I repeated those questions twice and saw all the solutions of those questions, and tried to understand why I was not able to reach to the right answer option.
Mm-hmm.
And doing all the wrong questions twice kind of cleared it for me. And then once the accuracy came in, then I didn't go back and worry too much about it. When I was able to solve all kind of questions, then I was I thought this topic is now prepared, and now I can probably move on to the next topic.
Which was the next? Which topic was the next one for you?
So I moved on to the grammar part. So
Sentence correction. Okay.
Sentence correction, because I thought this can be a game changer in exam, and now I shouldn't leave it for the last also. If I'm not able to ace it, then probably doing this hard work in CR and RC won't be of any use.
Okay, got it.
So I then, I started reading. First, I watched again the same, all
So
the
you had the
videos.
same couch and you had the TV set up the same
Yeah,
way?
yes, yes, same.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So I went through all
Show
the.
me the couch as well if you can, by the way.
So this is IKEA couch.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this is my favorite spot to be in, and here I am, giving you the interview.
Okay. Okay. So carry on.
Yeah. So then I went through all the concept videos, understood, nitty gritties of grammar, and which started making how GMAT grammar is little bit different from what we speak and what we usually consider right. And so initially, for example, I thought that pronoun should always come after a noun in 100% of the cases.
It was more rule based.
Rule based, right? So I had certain rules, but then I was lacking that deeper understanding, and the recognition of pattern, most importantly in sentence correction. So once I completed the entire videos and started solving questions, at least it started making some sense to me.
Well, you'd also done the Manhattan book, right? So what did the course add? The same way in critical reasoning, you had the pre-thinking piece, you had the premises that added the context there. So what did the SC course do to take your scores to that next level?
So when I was doing the Manhattan course, though I finished it twice, I didn't had that deep understanding of concepts and how to apply them into actual GMAT problems. That was lacking after I did my Manhattan.
Mm.
But after doing the e-GMAT course, I was able to apply those things into GMAT problems. So this thing was a clear difference after doing the
Were
e-GMAT.
you focusing more on the meaning, the intended meaning past?
Yes, and I would tell you that helped me solve around 6 questions in my GMAT exam.
Okay.
So there were a lot of answer options. I didn't even saw the grammatical sentence because they were absurd.
Oh,
They were distorting
so
the meaning.
they were distorting the meaning. Oh, wow. Okay.
They were
Interesting.
distorting the meaning, so I just rejected them. I was quickly on to 2 answer options, and then I applied all the rules, and then I just so it saved me a lot of time actually. So there were 5 6 meaning based questions in my GMAT, and I gave my GMAT on 23rd of June.
Mm.
And though I have never given GMAT before, but it I would say it was a little different from what we see in usual all the mocks that we attempt. But it was the concepts were still the same what
Still
I
the
saw in
same concept.
Scholaranium. Yeah. So the concepts in which so in Scholaranium I focused not more on questions but concepts on specific topics.
Mm.
And when I related to the questions that were asked in my exam, the questions were little different, which I have never seen before. But the concepts behind them were same.
That's good. That's good to know. And I will pass this on. And it's very interesting that you say that in this context over here, because a lot of, so we always, I don't know if you noticed during your preparation, you got about 100 odd new questions in Scholaranium as you were preparing. We were adding those questions. A lot of them were based on the advanced OG as well as the new as the new version of official guides come in. We kind of really look at what aspects are people faltering on, and we kind of enhance those either existing questions or we add new questions. So we added
Yeah,
about 100.
I'm very sure the kind of course that you have created is fantastic, and kudos to you for putting such a content out there.
Well,
For
I don't do the creation, but I'll let the SMEs know. But
yeah.
yes, yeah, we give them the freedom to do that. But and also I'll let Payal know. That's why you hear Payal's voice. She's the course creator.
Yes.
So, but here's I think the context for you, for me, what's very interesting is that not only did you actually had you read the Manhattan book, I think for me the bigger thing is you'd taken the CAT. You were a 99 point, what do you say, 2 3 percentile scorer on the CAT. So for you, the GMAT from a verbal standpoint at least was a very different test.
Yeah, of course. So, even when I scored a 99.23, my verbal was around in 70s only. And that was another reason I didn't get called from any IM. So their minimum is 80 percentile, I
Minimum is
guess.
80 percentile. Okay. Now on the quant side, you didn't study a whole lot, but you did practice. So how did you tackle quant? I think I don't think I have enough of the context, so I shouldn't say
So,
that. You didn't study a
yeah.
whole lot. You probably did.
No, yeah. So I practiced entirely from e-GMAT. I practiced all the topics, all the questions in Scholaranium for quant also.
Mhm.
Uh, though I would like, the statement I'm giving could be controversial. So I didn't find quant OG to be of much help, in terms of kind of questions that I
Oh, it's
encountered.
not controversial. A lot of people say that when you're again, if you're at Q50, Q51, that's true.
Right. So, a lot of questions there. I didn't find even any question that was similar to what I solved in OG, but definitely it was quite similar to what I solved in the e-GMAT course. So, I solved entirely quant also, and though I was very sure that I could score a Q50 or Q51 without any prep also. But now, in hindsight, now I realize that if I wouldn't have solved those questions and went without prep or on my own in the GMAT, I would have missed by 1-2 points. I would have probably scored a Q48 or Q49 because questions were really different and challenging.
I have seen just so many people make the mistake that you did not make. Said I'm very smart in quant, and I mean I made that mistake first time. Forget about other people. When my first attempt I got a Q14. I thought I was really smart in quant, and so I had to take this in the second attempt. I had to take this on my ego to get a Q51, and so yeah, a lot of people make that mistake. So, and this is where it's very interesting that you say that because recently the GMAC has said the official guide is not a it gives you a sample of what the GMAT tests. It's not necessarily, and they've worded it very carefully, a representation of the kind of questions you will see on the GMAT.
I completely agree to that. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, this is very interesting that you say that. Okay, so you talked about SC. We started with CR. We talked about SC. Then we went to quant. What about RC?
So, I never, initially it was like, I thought I would be able to manage RC on my own. And, it is just reading a comprehension and then seeing a question and answering in, where can you probably go wrong in that, if
Information is right there.
yeah, information is right there. And, if you can just develop some reading habits and read fast, and probably you will save time and be able to do it. But but my accuracy was again 60-70% in RC. And though I was understanding passages, all the passages, I was very confident in what I was marking, but my accuracy was never improving. So I was doing like 3 passages at a time in timed manner every time, and every time I ended up with 60-70% accuracy in RC, despite being very confident that what I'm marking is right.
Mm.
So obviously I had to go through, so I needed prep, and I went through again the entire course, solved every questions and everything. And in the end of it also, I didn't improve, I won't say very much drastically, but from 60-70% to I came to 80% odd. Still 1-2 questions odd I was getting wrong, but I thought I don't want a perfect score in quant. So I was planning for
In
somewhere
verbal.
around, yeah, in verbal, sorry.
Mm.
So my aim was not to get a perfect score. So I thought even 1 or 2 mistakes should be fine. So so I didn't want it again. So 3 months were almost over, and I didn't wanted it to go on where I first perfect it and then go on for the test. So I tried booking the test, but the centers were getting cancelled. So I just booked the test for after a 5 days duration. I didn't book it too much in advance. So I gave my mocks. I was confident that yes, I am able to tackle it. I'm getting good scores. So then I immediately booked my test for after 5 days around.
Got it. Got it.
So
And so
I didn't wanted to forget kind of concepts that I have learned in 2-3 months. So that was also a reason in my mind.
that's true. That's very well. So you took the enhanced online GMAT, right?
Yes.
And you faced one glitch, but other than which was in the AWS section, and you got 4 out of 6. But other than that, everything else went fine for you.
Everything was very smooth. In fact,
I want to ask this one other question. Did you take the GMAT on sitting on the same couch?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so my all study was here, and it is a walled room, so I could afford the luxury of
So you were
taking it.
sitting on the couch with a TV in the front and you took the GMAT.
Yeah, so I have a center table around here, and it was nothing like what I've heard that you'll have to click pictures of your ID from and then submit, and so they didn't ask for any clicking of pictures or anything. My proctor just asked me to show my ID on the webcam. She saw, she confirmed my
No, she took the
passport.
picture right then and there automatically. So
She
the
took
software.
picture on and there, and she asked me for my expiry date of the passport. That was it, and she talked to me. She explained me everything. She said, even if you have not removed anything, you can do it even now. Your surrounding should be like that. So whatever rules are there in GMAT, she went make me through it. She asked me for everything you understood. Tell me okay, okay, okay for all the things. And once that was done, she started the test, and it went pretty smooth. So I avoided, going away from my seat or taking a break. So I didn't wanted to take that risk.
Did you
So
actually ever call the proctor during the test?
no, I didn't.
Okay. Now, what kind of internet connection do you have?
So I have a good internet connection. It is 200 Mbps plus, so that's not an issue.
But who is it from?
It is from Geo.
From Geo. It's a fiber optic cable coming to your house?
Geo fiber optic. Yes.
Got it. Okay. Got it. All right. That's actually pretty. Did you do anything if the power went out? Did you have power backup or something?
No, I didn't, because I live in a society, and it's a gated society, and so high rise. So they
Power
already
doesn't
have a
go?
backup. So I thought that if it goes, even then the router will start in 2-3 minutes. So I would wait, and
You'd wait. Okay. Got it.
yeah. So one thing was there, though, my test, we have to log in 15 minutes before in the
Yes.
test, but I was not able to start my test when till 10 minutes before.
Okay.
So that do raise my anxiety, and even when I started, it was just revolving, and the test was not starting, and it was only 5 minutes left for my scheduled time, and then proctor connected. So that was
Did
anxiety. But yeah.
that was the exact.
So I
Did it
would
make
tell
a difference?
whoever listening to this that it can be few minutes here and there, and there is not too much to worry about. If it's scheduled, they will connect with you.
They're friendly people in general, right?
Very friendly.
Okay. Yeah, I
She
know.
was she made me very comfortable in start of the test, and she said, all the best and everything, and it was smooth.
Okay. Great. So just as a context, you've already done your MBA, and this is going to be you've been working in the corporate world 5 years. This is going to be your second MBA. You're talking about earlier. You're looking at a 1 year MBA. That's a primary thing, and you're looking at Europe because of the H1B thing. So we talked about the US versus Europe. Why not Canada? Canada has a really great immigration system.
Yeah, of course it has, but so it is kind of an Indian mentality. We don't really consider Canada as a foreign country. So Canada, unfortunately, doesn't enjoy that reputation out
What are
here
you
among.
talking about? UK, I understand, but Canada?
So so a lot of people from India, directly get PR also, and they migrate to Canada. So there are a lot of cases like that who
I know,
migrate.
yes.
Who migrate to Canada. So that option is always there. When you especially you are into right age group, and you can apply for PR and take that route also. So,
Got it.
and also most of the not in fact I somehow feel UK will be a better choice than Canada for especially for financial industry that is in London, and the kind of companies I could work with and kind of work I can get in London, uh, that will be nowhere compared to what I will get in Quebec or Toronto out there.
I don't know. Toronto, maybe. Quebec. Quebec's actually pretty well developed. So I think here's something which I would tell. So you're right. I mean, nothing beats London with regards to that. London, New York, Boston, and San Jose, San Francisco are five of those places. I'd say even Berlin is coming up and coming over there in that regards right now. Um, the only thing that I would really just say is, it comes to London, one of the biggest pieces that exists for me is the cost of living. especially the cost of housing. And so that's something that you should definitely look at. It's like you, I have family in London too, and man, that place is expensive. It's not just about the houses. You have a kid, you get a nanny. The nanny costs 3 to 4 thousand pounds.
I understand. I'll definitely be
Yeah, so,
considering
so
other
I
options.
would just look at those numbers over there. Now, the
Yes.
other thing which I think in Europe, which you should look at, and Berlin and I think other places don't suffer from as much the costs as I think London does to that degree. Now,
So
other parts of UK, you go
what do you think about Netherlands as an option?
oh, I love Netherlands. That's where I spend most of my summers.
Okay.
I
So
go to Eindhoven.
Rotterdam is a considered a good school in Netherlands, right?
Rotterdam is a really good, it's a decent school. Again, where you work and where you study are very different things. I mean, for example, you can go to INSEAD, you can get a job in. So Eindhoven, for example, is the world's most innovative city. It has highest patent filings per capita. So so I go to Eindhoven. Eindhoven, I mean, so Europe gives you the best of both worlds, which is the fact that sorry, Netherlands give you the best of both worlds. And when I say both worlds, the one world is England, the other one is the fact that you're in Europe. So Netherlands, everyone speaks English, a language not a problem, which
Right.
not the case in Germany, which is where I lived for 4 years. Language is still a problem in Germany. um, and but you enjoy all the proximity to Europe,
Of course.
living in Netherlands. So and there have also a lot of corporate companies. I mean, non-tech, uh, but I mean, Netherlands is proximity to Berlin and in Frankfurt and pretty much. I mean, Frankfurt to Eindhoven is what 3.5 hours train ride or so.
So yeah,
So
definitely I could look at lot more options, after discussing with you and not confine myself to UK only.
the other piece which I would really say is 760 with your background gets you, in my opinion, if you play your cards right, makes you eligible for a top school either in Europe or in the US. The other piece is if you apply properly, it in many cases will get you a full scholarship.
So Rajat, will my low GPA kind of hamper my prospects?
This is not India.
Okay.
This
So I
is not. We
scored
don't have a formula.
around 64, 65%, So,
But what
that's
was
it.
your rank in class?
So my topper of my school is securing around 70%. So that's the maximum they secure.
What was your rank in class?
I have no clue about that.
If a class is 50 people, was it like 25th or was it 12th or was it
So
6th?
actually, in our college, it was like, in last year, you can select whatever electives you want to. So people select different kind of electives, and so that apple to apple comparison kind of goes away. Someone is selecting. So we have a lot. Even in my engineering, I had a lot of management subjects also that we could select. So it was.
So I would recommend you translate your GPA out properly, because if the topper scored 70, then your GPA should translate to it shouldn't be 65%. It should translate at least to a 3.4 to 3.5, which is not bad out of 4.
Okay, so there is some professional
Yeah, you
thing.
have to position it. You have to position it properly. I mean, were you considered one of those people who's going to fail, or were you considered among the smarter people in class? That is a very simple question.
Right,
That's what GPA as a number translates into.
right. That makes sense. Yes.
Okay, if the topper was 70% and you are at 65, my guess is either the system didn't have a whole lot of means to differentiate, or you were one of the smart people. What were the people who were amongst the worst ones? What was their percentage like?
So their percentages. Our passing percentage in our college was 35. So everyone between 35 to 65 was eligible for a degree. Right?
But how many people were? What percentage of people were below 60?
No idea, but there were a lot.
If you were to guess,
Around me,
was it
there,
more than half or less than half?
I think less than half.
Okay, what percentage of people?
So to be frank, I won't say that I was into top 20% of my class or something like that. I was probably into top 50%.
Yeah, but again, you have a top 1 percentile score. So that is that for me is can be addressed fairly easily. Work with a good admission consultant, they can help you address that.
Okay, sure.
Because you have a top 1 percentile score.
In fact, I was aiming for a much higher score because of this reason only, because I thought if I couldn't make it, so because of my GPA, I have to compensate. So I was
if you
hoping.
look at MB Analytical, our MBA series on our YouTube channel, you'll see many people with low GPAs. I've gotten into top schools and I've gotten scholarships too.
In fact, I'm thinking about retaking my GMAT.
Don't even think.
Because of low AWA also. I think, if I'll give, I can improve.
No, it's fine. Not a problem. Don't worry about it. Yeah, for you, there was a glitch. You only had 7 minutes. 7 minutes, 4 out of 6 is great. Explain it in the essay. Spend that time to enhance your application.
Okay.
So I wouldn't take it. You have better things to do. With a 760, there's no reason to retake it.
Okay.
So